Hey there, I'm Jennifer.
And I'm Jackie.
And welcome to Slightly Unsupervised. We're best friends, business partners, and the chaos behind Bestimony, a ceremony we created to celebrate the kind of soulmates who don't come with a marriage license.
This podcast is all about that friendship energy, the deep stuff, the messy stuff, and the laugh till you snort stuff.
So whether you're driving, folding laundry, or hiding in your car for some peace and quiet,
you're in good company. Let's get slightly unsupervised.
Welcome back, you all. We are on episode 6 now of our series, Making Friends Later in Life. And this one is titled The Slow Build, How Real Friendships Deepen Over Time. We want to help women understand that healthy friendships build gradually, not through oversharing, intensity, or trauma bonding, but through consistency, safety, and mutual effort.
We've talked about who you are now. We've talked about your energy. We've talked about boundaries, and we've talked about how to actually meet people. But what nobody talks about is what happens next after the coffee, after the first, that was fun. Because this is where women either rush it or retreat. You either spill your whole life story and call her your soulmate, or you keep it surface for 2 years and never let her in. This episode is all about the middle ground, the slow build, the way real relationships deepen over time without forcing it and without shutting down.
Absolutely. So this segment is really about intensity. The intensity isn't intimacy, that you can really find somebody, and I'm sure it's happened to you too, Jackie. I have more of an instances on this with guys that I've dated where their bond with me is too quick, too fast, and it scares the Jesus out of you more than sort of letting something grow naturally and getting close to people. Or, immediately they're like, you're the person for me. And you're like, whoa, 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 back it up, buddy.
Yeah,
like,
that's me.
Yeah. It can go both ways. That's a relationship, but so is the relationship of friendship, that you cannot put so much pressure on one relationship immediately to be your everything, that you need to come into that with some boundaries, which we've talked about, and also just letting it slowly grow into a relationship. That you cannot, just because you may pick somebody out as your best friend, like they'd be perfect, you have to be respectful that the other person on the other side of that has to feel that connection as well. And sometimes it doesn't happen that way. Have you ever had a relationship, Jackie, that somebody was head over heels in love with you to begin with? You're like, whoa, that's way too much for me to deal with right now. That, kind of caused you to back up and go, I don't think so. Like, too much is not good either.
I think at the time I didn't realize it was happening.
But it was happening.
And then when I look back, I can see exactly what was happening. And then it was just like, and actually that wasn't a good friendship. There was one that definitely happened that way. And I didn't see it. I just let it keep going like it was.
Yeah.
And I probably should have stopped it. I should have seen red flags ahead of time.
Right.
And I didn't. I gave it my usual, as we all talk, I give so many chances.
Chances for you to figure it out.
Yeah. And also I've done it with guys. Like when I divorced, I was just not interested. I just wanted to date. That was it.
Right.
I mean, I'd been in a relationship forever. I was super young when I got into it and I was done.
Yeah.
So
until
my man that's in my life now got to me, it all worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely there was a lot of guys that would be like, hey, I thought we were like an item. No, I never said that.
I had a few that were like, you're my soulmate. You're like, whoa, back it up, buddy. That's not, I have to come into it. And this is, just what we want to talk about here, is that we want you to know that you have to come slow and steady. This is not a climb to the top first day. You got to kind of do that. And Jackie and I have an interesting story. And if you listen to our podcast at all, probably in episode 2 or 3, we talk about how you and I were not friends for like 15 years, that you were married to somebody who didn't like me and I didn't like him. And you went off to get married and do all those things. And there was a real deep loss between the two of us because you got married to somebody I didn't like and he didn't like me. And so there was a lot of, reconnecting even with Jackie and I. This was something that happened, and we were basically best friends before that happened. So you can imagine that if two best friends that come back together cannot immediately just jump back into we're best friends tomorrow, we had to come back slowly. We had to start doing some things together. We had to start trusting each other with stuff. We had to start sharing some stories with each other and slowly and gradually kind of reconnect with each other on that level, even though we had known each other. So
yep,
you can imagine on a new relationship, it's going to take time too.
And think about it. There was times, remember I was going through videos that I transferred over for the kids. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't even remember you being at my house in the desert when I was
Right.
married to him. I remember our one girlfriend, we did her bachelorette party, of
Right.
course.
Yeah.
But, like, going back and I was like, "Oh my gosh, both her boys are there.
Yeah.
Those boys are playing with my boy." I
Yeah.
was just like, and I think it was just I had to separate myself because, like, we planned something because with another friend that was there,
Yeah.
and so we planned something, and then I'm just like, I just kinda put it out of my head. Like, I knew that we still couldn't at that point, because I was with him, have that relationship anymore.
Right.
So it was
Yeah.
just for a time. It was just a time. So it's like kinda how they say, like, things happen to you and you put it away and you don't think about it. That's
Yeah.
exactly what happened, which
Yeah,
is
I don't
sad.
remember it either too, to be honest with you. I mean, now that we talk about it
Mhm,
and we're like, "Oh, yeah, maybe I did." Same thing. It's like life had taken hold and we gone on with our lives or whatever, and we couldn't. We knew even probably when we were together at those times, it's like you were still married to this human. This was not any more than just a quick, "Hey, how are you?" See you
mhm.
later kind of thing because we couldn't have that relationship if we had this person in between us because that person was bad on
Never
your
gonna
side,
let it
bad
work.
on my side, but didn't wasn't gonna allow us to be friends. So, but, there's the other thing too is that we start small, right? So Jackie and I
Mhm,
start small. We're not jumping into being best friends tomorrow. We're like, "Oh, there's an opportunity here for us to be friends." So we start slow. We start seeing each other. Probably, I remember coming down to your house, like you must have invited me for the weekend or whatever. I came with my son and we spent the weekend with you and your husband. We did
my new husband.
yeah, we did a reunion together. We helped you with that kind of thing. We went to Vegas. Remember that? We went to Vegas with a bunch of girls, and that kind of was like, another stepping stone. And then just kind of slowly but surely spending some time together and reacquainting ourselves with each other. And you got to remember too, and at least in our case, there was a lot of bad things
Baggage.
said. Yeah, bad things said about, my friendship with you. About you're probably leery about the fact that I was not the person that you thought I was, and, that's always something that's the guy will do to some girl that he doesn't want in his wife's life or his girlfriend's life is she's not really your friend, that kind of thing, the mental problems,
Mhm,
the stuff that goes on with that. So, this is just a little bit of, like we're just trying to give you some examples about why it has to be a slow climb. You come in with somebody, I know I've trauma bombed with somebody over in the bathroom of a bar before, you know what I mean? Like, "Oh my god, be totally best friends." That happened to me, those things those aren't long withstanding. You have to continue to have all that trauma all the time, and maybe if you're a trauma queen, you can continue with trauma and trauma, but, you can't dump on somebody your entire life and tell them everything that's ever happened to them day 1 and expect them to not be overwhelmed by you. So, consistency, slow it down, do a few things, share a few things, get a little bit of togetherness without, really feeling like you're overwhelming somebody because everybody has their own lives and they have their own baggage they bring into it. And you could be a trigger to them too. So you got to be kind of careful with that kind of stuff, I feel like. So if you're out meeting people and you go have something and, it's my one thing on this episode or this series is that you go try it one time, it doesn't work out, and you completely block yourself from doing it again because you're so afraid that somebody's not going to be reciprocating back to you their what you wanted. And so you give up immediately. And, I watch those blogs and you do too, Jack, that
mhm.
happens a lot. People are like, well, I've tried. Well, you tried once. You tried, it didn't work out. Not everybody's going to be your cup of tea. So
No, and I think even when we got back together, I was still going through my issues of the divorce. I was a freaking mess. I'm
yeah,
gonna admit it. I was a mess.
yeah,
But you knew me and you knew what I used to be,
right,
and that really made a difference.
yeah,
And it's hard if you're just all of a sudden getting a new friend, it's not gonna be that you don't know them. Like,
right,
we were lucky that you knew the person I was before,
right, right.
and so you were able to be there for me. I'll start crying, but you were able to be there for me because you knew what I used to be.
Right. I reminded you. I'm like, "What who the hell is this person?" And I've said that always to this degree is that I didn't see you evolve and change. I know a lot of your friends did, and I didn't. So when I came back, I was like, "I don't know who the hell you are. What did we talk why are we being quiet? Like, you were the most, bold, outgoing person. What happened to her? Where's she?" It was definitely good for Jack for me to be that way because I didn't, I know a lot of your friends saw you evolve and change, and so they probably forgot who he used to be, and I never forgot
Mhm.
because I never that's all I ever saw. It was, all things work for the greater good, and that's what exactly what happened for that. So, you know, keep in mind that if you come in strong and you overwhelm somebody, the reality of the situation is they'll probably back off. They'll probably be too much for you. It'd be too much for them to digest you in such a big way that, if I don't know you from anything, the one little step forward is maybe the first platform is like, well, tell me a little bit about who you are and kind of leave some of your trauma and your baggage out of it. Kind of go over this is what I like, or whatever, so that kinda getting an idea if people are your cup of tea or if you like to do the same thing. What do you think, Jack? What do you think is a good stepping stone for the first kind
Oh,
of
definitely don't bring all that stuff in. That's why I was just making that remark.
Yeah,
And it was only because we knew each other.
we knew each
But
other.
if you're just meeting someone, I would never I know what to do. Like, if you're meeting someone, you don't give the black I guess it's the black and white is what they say. So
Yeah,
you only give part of it, but you don't wanna give all the negative black of it.
right. We're the gray, the kinda in between,
Yeah.
somewhere in
And
between.
I'm like, when we we lived in the neighborhood, they don't know anything. I mean, our neighbors,
Yeah,
any of my bad stuff or anything with me and my husband, when we go out, we just put a bright face on. Does that make sense? So I
right,
feel like when you start out and then when you really get to know someone, you can put your stuff out there. There's like a time and a place, I guess. You know what
right,
I mean?
right.
But when you start out with someone, like you saying, "Oh, you'll meet someone in the bathroom and they're like throwing up, whatever." No. Me, I'd be all, "You're not my person. I am not dealing with you."
Like,
That's where me and you are opposites. You know
I
what
know,
I mean?
like, "You need help. Let me help you."
I would be like, look at her like, "Girl, get yourself together, knock it off, get out of here."
I'll be
But
bringing him
that's
tables.
me.
"We have a new friend. She was in the bathroom right now. She's had a
Yeah.
trauma."
Her breath smells really bad, but don't smell it. And I'd be like, "Girl, you need to go take a mitt."
Exactly.
That's where you and I are different.
We're different. We would bring different
Yes.
people back to the table. Jackie will bring all the fun people that wanna party and have a good time, and I'm, like, dragging all the poor pigeons around that, lost their way. I'm like, "Come with me. I'll be your friend." So,
But
that
it is funny that that saying it out loud, because I don't think we ever talked about that before, but it is pretty much how we both are.
Mhm.
Like, we could be swearing, you'll be like, "Oh, no, shut up, Jen. Stop. We are not picking this chick up."
Where you're inviting the entire roulette table out to go hang out with us afterwards. I'm like, "Who are these people?"
Yeah, but they were fun. There was no baggage there. Nobody was too drunk. Perfect.
So
Let's be
see,
real.
we're even giving you our vulnerabilities about who we are and what we're about.
Yeah.
I can't drag everything home that needs a friend, and Jackie can't bring every person that we ever meet over to hang out with us all the time. We're like, yeah, it's in between there. So
Unless you're fun.
yeah. So no,
So if you meet us, be really fun and you can hang out with us.
or give me your sad story and I'll take you home with me. Poor thing needs attention. So but I think that we're just trying to give you some real, like, solid information, and solid, hopefully some solid advice here for you that you need to start slow, start quietly, don't
Definitely.
come
Yeah.
into this with all your struggles. It's too much for people. You want to talk about things that are, you might mutually have in common. Those are good things to start with. I've talked about the gardening club. If you guys are gardening together, there's lots to talk about with that stuff.
Cornhole competitions?
Cornhole, whatever. Corn and gardening, same thing. Talking and listening. This one's important. I'm gonna say this one. When someone talks, listen, and then let them talk. Like, I think there's a lot of people out in the world that talk. I know I talk more than Jackie on this, but that's just because she can be shy. So it's just kind of the way we deal with it. In real life, Jackie will talk as much as I will. I'm just a little more on the podcast that way because I think she needs me to do that. And so I do that. We're balancing each other. But you know, talk and then listen. Ask some questions, man. Ask somebody about their life because a lot of people don't know where to start either. And if they haven't had friends in a long time, it can be really complicated because they don't have any other friendships to even really like look back and be like, this is how my other friendships work. So this must be how you have no basis of that. That can be really, really tough. So, give some time for people to talk, listen to them. If they ask for an hour, make sure you respect the time. You don't wanna put them in a position they're having to bail out of there and you're not letting them go even though they've kind of given you a timeline that they need to be leaving. I think timelines for your first meeting are always perfect. I would put a timeline on it always. I would say, "I've got half an hour, we can have a cup of coffee, and at your half an hour, go," because that relieves the stress off the situation for when does this end? It's like a date, right? It's like you don't know how many time, when we're gonna get to go home. So I think a really good thing to do in the beginning is to have some kind of timeline for how long you're gonna be spending your time together so that both of you have a way to exit out of that pretty quickly. And then
And if it goes longer, it means that there's some kind of connection.
yeah, there's some kind of connection, but
Mhm.
it's for a lot of people that have anxiety in particular, they need an exit strategy to start. Maybe even if they have anxiety, you might have to give them some time to be able to be friends with you more than their half an hour or whatever. So just kind of keep that in mind that, those things are very important that when you meet people that you are giving people time and space to unfold and don't come at them at full speed because you're going to find out that people are going to back off pretty quickly. And you might have been a really good connection. It's just that your style of coming in strong could be kind of a turnoff for them and they'll never give you another opportunity, is what I would say. Like, feel it
And,
out.
like, the website or the thing on Facebook that we've seen too about the girlfriends thing, I wish it was more like a dating app where it asks questions so that you're finding a friend that is more like you.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm more of an introvert. I'm more of an extrovert. I
Right.
want this. I want
Right.
that. The one that we found that we felt bad that we're like, hey, we should do this episode, or Jen did. Sorry, not me. We're going with it. I mean, I still see kind of some of their stuff that they put on. I don't know about this, da, 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 but they go back and forth on stuff. And I think if it had questions,
Hmm.
you could be matched up with a better friend. Does
Right.
that make sense? Like, they
Right.
put all this thing on it, and maybe we should make the app. I don't know. Maybe there's something out there, but if there's not, maybe we should think about this. But where they have the questions so that you kinda get put with somebody that you are more alike,
Right. Similar.
right?
To, right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Or that you at least can have some kind of immediate connection to so that you have something to go off of right away instead of coming out of,
Or you getting the message.
yeah,
Cool.
cool, cool, cool to you too, lady. So just keep in mind, slow and steady. This is, deepens over time. Friendships will evolve and let them come at their at their pace and be understanding. Jackie and I had to be spend a lot of time being understanding with each other when we first got back to being friends with each other, even though we knew each other, was, where she was at life then or where she was in life now versus where I knew her as, and the same vice versa. We were two different people, essentially, but the same too,
Well,
so
yeah.
yeah. We needed to get back to that and we needed to find our own space and our own trust building to get back to that too. So it can happen for people that have known each other for a long time. And if you are reconnecting with somebody from a long time, we are here to tell you, give that some time, give it some space. And, you don't know. I don't remember all the things I did to you, Jackie, when I was a kid. And I'm sure there are things, like it's not like when I kicked you out of the car that one time and I went back and picked you back up. But you know what I mean? Like,
What's funny is you remember that and I don't remember it.
you know?
I believe you, but I don't remember it.
Yeah. There's some things you probably remember that I don't remember, and I'm like, I have no idea what I've done. So be graceful, be gracious with people, and give them some time and energy to come at it slowly but steady. So, anyways, let's get on with that. If this episode hit you in the feels or made you laugh way too hard, we consider that a win.
Be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your ride or die
And when you're ready to make your friendship official, book your testimony at rhinestoneweddingchapel.com.
because the best love stories don't always come with a ring.
We stick together, ride or die to the moon, and no amount of space could ever come between us two. The reuniting's like we've never been apart, and every single time we're eye to eye and heart to heart. There's not enough words to describe what you mean to me. Through heartaches and ups The definition of a best friend is you. Is you. And we'll keep dancing through the rain, forever connected. Same page, we're writing our story every day. We'll keep on going, ever changing. There's not enough words to describe what you mean to me. Through heartaches and ups and downs in this life, you've stayed right next to me. I vow to make you laugh till you cry and talk about everything under the moon. The definition of a best friend is you. Is you. Love, trust, that's us. Loyalty, you and me. Love, trust.